that young man there. I think that's him.
Really? He looks barely old enough to wipe his own arse, let alone command a legion.
If Lucullus says he won the war, then I have no choice but to believe it.
Ah, it's good to see you again. Have some wine. My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude. Much appreciated. But I am eager to return to my proprietorship in Asia. With any luck, Rome will never have need of me again. It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. Even without solid evidence, he will be able to put you into an advantageous position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurco, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected. Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride. To a man like Cotta, an honorable death would have been preferable to a humiliating near miss.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here.
Nonsense. It's a party after all. What would be the purpose of these gatherings if we refrained from conversation? I am Aurelia Cotta. Marcus and Lucius are my brothers. It's wonderful to meet you, Legate. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
But you can take full credit for letting my son die? Or was he simply at the wrong place at the wrong time? I apologize, Legate. They told me you had become close despite how briefly you knew each other. Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Croquet Morse. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Rest assured, my brother is thankful for that, Legate.
Really? Are you so eager to display your shallowness?
It's been rather rainy recently, true. At least the rain drives the mosquitoes away.
Not all of them, it seems.
Salve! I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero. Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking. To varying degrees, I am sure. I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring. Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in. That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends? True, my friend. You know my name.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate?
Fortunately, I know you are good at handling ambushes.
Spoils of war, unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cato and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead. I generally avoid prosecuting. One does not make friends that way.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served. Precisely. The rules exist for a reason. One must understand the reasons to challenge them.
Rules should never invalidate the reasons for their existence. Morality is beyond law. Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live? Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the man, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Yet you did not take it. A point well taken.
Depends on the denarii, I suppose. Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Cicero. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you? Indeed, in betraying Rome, you would betray yourself. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato. We don't have enough evidence to condemn Vitellius Scaevola yet. But I shall try tomorrow at the Senate. Hopefully I can secure Cato's help. You should go to your villa. Be careful, though. Scaevola's thugs are still guarding it. By Jupiter, don't get yourself killed. Hire some people. Just be careful.
You look tired. Shall we leave? So, did you enjoy yourself? That is what life is. They look heavily armed, Domine. What if they respond poorly to our demands? I hope you'll forgive me if that does not inspire confidence.
Just where do you think you're going? Go home then. What are you going to do about it?
I expect him to be merciful and just, as he always is. For your sake. You answer to him now, Lictores.
Senator Cato!
By order of the Senate, the property rights of this legatus are approved. From this point forward, as pater familias, he alone can exercise the rights of usus, fructus, and abusus. But nothing. That is if you want to see tomorrow.
As you command.
Not me, as he commands.
My apologies, Domine.
Your thanks are unnecessary. It was the virtuous action to take. Welcome home, Wale. Until next time.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight? Are you eating well? Has he been eating well, Cineros?
He has, Domina.
Do tell your mother how much you missed her. I miss him too. If only he were here to see you like this. Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive? I know. I was just concerned for you. But did you like the life in the Legion? Do you want to be a career soldier? Just like your father.
Domina, with all due respect, I guess the legatus has his own questions. Am I wrong?
Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture. He had no reason to antagonize me, though. I do. And Akulus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. But now you're here, and everything will be fine. I haven't seen your sister in months. Scaevola doesn't let her out of his summer villa. She's pretty much imprisoned there. It's good to have you home, and for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.
Your mother has started catching me up on how the vineyards have been going since we left. The harvest was better than expected. That is good news, of course, but it also means we have a problem. One of our grapes produced a particularly good wine. It's an opulent vintage with a smooth finish. Quite frankly, Domine, it is one of the best wines I have ever tasted. Oh, but I do. And you know I've tasted a lot of excellent wines throughout my life. This wine ranks among the best of the best. Winemaking is not an exact science. We do follow recipes, but we are subject to the whims of Dionysus. Every now and then he favors you, and you may produce a wine of this caliber. It means the wine has a rich and smooth taste. An opulent wine is a bold wine. Do not worry. Wine terminology can be weird and obscure. You will get used to it in time. The question is what we shall do with this wine. It's certainly worth more than what we normally sell for. It's the best kind of problem to have. It might be a good idea to visit some of the merchants in the market. Before you leave, there's a small thing we have to decide. A good wine deserves a good name. What should we name this one? Minerva's wisdom it is. A good name, and not without a touch of irony. Very well. That being settled, you should go and talk to the wine merchants. I had no doubts. You've made everyone proud, and this victory is cause for celebration. I shall cook today. Our legal system has its own intricacies, which no one but people like Kikaro understand. I'm sure the powers that be worked their magic. I don't know, it's your house. Sit back and relax and let your Sir-Wee handle things. Do bear in mind that managing an estate is no simple task, though. Now that your father is no longer with us, you will have to find a way to generate income. I think we should focus on the wine business. There used to be a lot of money in your vineyards. They have been silent for a long time now. Silence can be scary. This time we will be prepared. Our current position is quite secure politically. Any foe should think twice before attacking us in our seat of power. I believe we're quite safe in Rome.
How is it? You don't like the dress? I like it too. Calida helped me shop for it. In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I'm foreign, I think, but because I am woman. That I don't like. I would like that, if it is fine with you. This villa is amazing. So many statues and fancy carpets. I love your garden. It's so lush and green. And trickle of fountain calms me down. I'm so glad to be rid of those lictors.
Are you going to feed the horses?
I am. Is there something I should know?
Don't walk behind the ground.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Daenera.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
Bright red. A bright color of warning. A predator's color. Pink looks good on you, Daenera.
Thank you. What is this place? Why are you here always?
Maybe. I have spent so much time here. Some places cannot be left, Calida. They live inside you wherever you go.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us! Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous. Only I can speak for our family now.
Kill whom?
Accident. It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder. Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man. Your tongue is as sharp as your blade. Indeed, I don't like playing with swords and bows, but at least I don't murder innocent men.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense. He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Do you think you're in a position to threaten me?
What did I say, little man?
Don't hurt him too badly, guys. Don't worry, we won't.
We will just teach him a lesson he will not soon forget.
Curse this mess! Aulus, you fool!
Oh. He will be fine. More guards may be coming. It is time to leave now.
Good, you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question. Certainly, I wanted you to think about the meaning of life. Yours or mine, it doesn't matter. What do you think the meaning of life is? The purpose of it? Isn't that a bit pointless? Do we live to live? A point? Perhaps not. But a reason is what everything must have. Everything is the consequence of another thing. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made, or what we call the first principle. Not literally. But just as a house is made of stones, everything is made of something. Where it ends is the first principle. No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first principle might be? Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity. An interesting take on the tale of the basilisk. Indeed. Perhaps our actions turn our ideas into stone. Ah, it is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow. Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though. It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change, and as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world. He also gives the example of a river. He says one can never bathe in the same river. For the next time you try, the water is not the same water, and the man is not the same man. Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said, nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary. Maybe. But when you're running from one city to another, you have to first run half the distance, and then you have to run half of that. And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer. I agree. Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself. He who knows himself and others can surely make better decisions. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be free. Perhaps because your mind is not free. A man who is not allowed to do what he wants, can such a man be truly free? Because you're free to look anywhere, but you do not know where to begin. Sometimes an abundance of freedom can be as restricting as the lack thereof. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man? A good man can sacrifice his own happiness for that of others. You can do that even if you're usually a bringer of pain. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man. You can try. And the Bestia Tabat I know excels at overcoming difficult obstacles. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not. You're a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then. It is only natural. Who knows who Serwa your sister is now? Do you want me to be honest? What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her. Then I have succeeded as Magister. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
Is your back giving you trouble? My wife is a trained masseuse. Salve legate. Are you looking for medical supplies? The world may be large, but Rome is smaller than you'd think in some ways. People talk, and you are mildly famous. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything. Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield. I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would have been fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands, and mortal hands need denarii. I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons. The machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could turn ugly. Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you. Let us hope you'll never have need of them.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another customer in my smithy. Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tools? There is no market for such tools in peacetime. And of course, weapons are not allowed inside the pomerium. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ancilla? Well, I'm not much of a storyteller, but they say the shield of Mars fell from the sky during the reign of Numa Pompilius. In his wisdom, the king ordered 11 copies to be forged. They were stored alongside the original in the Temple of Mars. I have come into possession of one of them. Or perhaps it's the original, who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age. Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it. You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again. A fair price, I should say. Very well. The Ancilla is yours. I cannot guarantee that it once belonged to a god, but you have my word that it is a good shield, and it will serve you well should you ever use it in combat.
Hey! Over here!
It isn't
Brother.
you. The bread is getting worse. I've noticed it as well.
The Collegium Peace Storm is not what it used to be.
The problem is Egypt. The conflict of succession is interrupting the grain supply.
Typical. Perhaps it's time Rome takes a more direct interest in how that country is governed.
Brother! It's so good to see you again. How have you been? For some reason, Scaevola is treating me like a queen. I do not know why. Maybe he's afraid I'll be collecting information for you. I'm starting to think his brother Lorco wants me to be on his side. Scaevola is trying to keep his brother away from me. I may be able to use that to our advantage. I'm afraid we don't really have much time. They are tailing me, following all of my moves. Lorco and his men. He insists it's for my own security, but there's something unsettling about his smile. I don't know what it is. I think Lorco is more dangerous than Scaevola by far. He runs all of their business, and everyone acts like they're working for him. Even my husband's lictors. A little while. I sent her Serwa to stake out our villa. She ran and fetched me as soon as she saw you leave for the market. It is hard to guess. He acts as if he's a man without any ambition. We both know that is not correct, though. I think they're working on something. Unfortunately, paranoia reigns in Villa Witelia. They cover their tracks well and hide everything, even from their own people. You're wrong. I do have to do this. It's the only way I can help you work against them and maybe one day avenge our father. And then go insane out of boredom, thanks, but that is not an option. Besides, I'm much more useful to you as Witelia Skyevola's wife. Thank you, but I don't think I have a choice in that. I will send a server to your kitchen door with instructions for where to meet me next week.
Fine wine from the beautiful hills of Latium.
I have the best away. What brings you to the land of wine today? If wine is what you seek, you have come to the right place. My wine is much better than those of Marcellus Vipsanius. That's what I call it. This area of the market belongs to the Collegium Venariorum. We are an association of all the wine merchants in Rome. Oh, indeed. I recognize you now. Welcome to my stall, then. Are you looking to sell? He prioritizes customer satisfaction at the cost of morality and the law. He lies, cheats, and threatens. In the end, he acquires the best vintages. Some of us do, but many of us purchase wine from vineyards and sell it here at the market. I would be very interested, but the rules state that I have to call the other merchants for a tasting. We each must have an equal opportunity. Exciting! This is brilliant! Exquisite! The best wine I have tasted this year. You know, your father and my father used to trade, but I do not believe they ever achieved this level of excellence.
I do not know, Quintus. It does have a harsh finish.
I would call it nutty. It's a really good wine, though. I could sell this for years. Domine, would you consider a 5-year deal? I'm willing to buy a 5th of your stock this year, and another 5th next year, and so on. For each batch, I would offer you 1,000 denarii.
I won't risk that. Tastes change, and demands change with them. I'll pay you 3,500 denarii. Sure, it is less than you'd get from Claudius over 5 years, but I want all of this wine now.
I agree, it is a good wine. I will buy all of your stock right now, and I'll pay 4,000 denarii, more than Quintus is willing to part with. Half now, and half when I take delivery.
I am an honest trader, Legate. My father used to deal with your father before either of us was born. I will sell your wine to the best clients and pay for all of it up front.
The deal favors us both. I pay less now, and you have greater profits in the long term.
It's good money. More than what Quintus pays, and you'll get paid as soon as I take delivery. In exchange, your wine will be sold at the best tavern in Rome. It's an offer you cannot refuse. I'm sure you've made the right choice, and that you know what's good for you.
Your business acumen is impressive. I agree to your terms and revise the offer. I shall pay you 6,000 denarii over the next 5 years.
Preposterous. You can't make a deal with these fools. Mark my words, you will regret this. I give you one last chance to change your mind. You have missed out on a great business venture.
I will make the arrangements at once. You will receive the first installment soon.
You came! If I say dumb things, blame the wine. But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places. Let me assure you the feeling is mutual. Now that the war is over, I hope we'll finally have time to get to see another side of each other. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My lovely companion is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to? All for the glory of Rome. That hit the spot. Another one? I apologize. I shall never insult you again. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tent pole? It was. I still can't help but laugh. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my sweet. You're all right. I'm glad you came. Friendships that develop in war don't always stand the test of peacetime. More than I could count. I walked on so many different kinds of soil, seen so many faces, and broken so many hearts. Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage. An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own? Nonsense. You're being too serious for your own good. Look at it like an adventure. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death. Something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
I know. It's a blessing and a curse. Out with it, woman. What do you want?
I think I am with child. I do, but...
Speak freely.
You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What? It does, doesn't it? But what if she's telling the truth? I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me. Afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
We don't, I guess.
I swear, I'm telling the truth.
Does it matter?
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Sour.
The night has taken an unusual turn. I apologize. I don't, but I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, I find it hard to believe I'd forget the mother of my own child. Maybe, well, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Callida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie. Probably not. But what if it really is my child? I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.